Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Tuesday live stream from beautiful, sunny Topeka, Kansas. I am here today with special guests Kathy and Deb. They'll be coming on later. But before we jump into today's big subject of the Hugo top and floral pants, I want to just go over a couple things. So the first thing I want to talk about is our sneak peek of our August So Confident project, which is the inventor shirt. So we're just in the beginning of July, but we're thinking ahead a little bit, and I just want to remind our So Confident members that we do have kits available now for the inventor shirt. So if you want to get your kit, get ready for the class next month, you can do that now. We have, I think, 5 kits available. 5 different colorways, I should say. You can see them there. We've got a sienna colorway. One is sienna night. That's the darker stripe. The second colorway over is sienna dune. We have, oh gosh, no, I can't remember the names. Purple sky, I think, purple punch, and misty lagoon. So basically, 2 kind of red umber colorways, 2 more violet purple, and 1 green for my fellow green people. So that's exciting. The class will launch on August 1st, so there's a lot of time. And if you want to sign up, we will be putting up a product where you can just sign up for that class. But we want to just give you guys a heads up that these kits are available now. But let's get back to July, because we have a very exciting week this week. And that is because this weekend on Friday and Saturday, it is the Poppy Vest Sew Along. Now, So Confident members, you've got all the information. If you don't, just let me know. But non-So Confident members, you can still sign up for the Poppy Vest Sew Along, which is happening this Friday and Saturday. So here is the Poppy Vest. She's a beauty. It is a 1 pattern piece project. Let me show you the back here, and it's got this lovely little flap. And so what's going to happen is that we are going to have 4 live sewing sessions on Zoom this weekend at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock on Friday and Saturday. Whoever has signed up for the class will get all of the links in the email, and you will join us. And during the sewing sessions, we'll share tips and tricks for making the Poppy Vest with you. And then we'll have time to go sew on our own, and then come back and share our progress, ask any questions you might have. And hopefully by the end of Saturday, we will have a completed Poppy Vest. Now, there is a follow-up to the Sew Along this weekend, and that is a Q&A with Nancy Schreiber later in the month. And she's going to show us how to do stitching on the Poppy Vest. So you'll have your Poppy Vest done from our Sew Along, and you want to embellish it, and she's going to show you how to do it. So if you sign up for the Poppy Vest Sew Along class, you get all of that, and then we also have a Q&A at the end of the month. But that's happening on Friday, so come on down and sew with us. We're excited about it. It's our first ever live Sew Along, so we'll see what happens. Who knows? But we hope to see all of your lovely faces this weekend. So today we are talking about I forgot. Thank you, Alex. Speaking of Nancy Schreiber, I did want to mention that we do have a workshop with her coming up next year in Eureka Springs. Nancy is our go-to stitcher. She's been on quite a bit, so you probably know her. And she is going to do kind of an intimate workshop in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, with sashiko stitching, hand stitching, and you can learn all of her favorite techniques. So that workshop is available, and you can find it on our website to sign up. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and talk about this week's subject, the Hugo top. And to do that, I'm going to bring on Kathy Davis, because she made this beautiful Hugo top. I'll come this way. How about that?
Hello.
So Kathy, what do you think about the Hugo top? What are the best features?
The best features, I think it's a boxy top, but still has a lot of style to it. I love the unusual buttons here. It's almost like a little polo button up that you don't see very often.
It's got this hidden button placket. I'm going to bring it forward because I'm guessing people can't see it. So when it's closed, it's this beautiful, smooth front to your top. But then when you look into it, you've got a hidden button placket. So you have 3 buttons here, and then 1 button that closes with a loop.
Yeah, and when you're stitching it, putting it together, oops, take it apart. So your inside placket is offset a little bit from the outside placket.
So this to me is kind of a high-end kind of design detail.
Well, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I think another feature is it would take all types of fabrics.
Mm-hmm.
You can do linen. You can do silk.
We've got some samples here. Let me show. So we have this guy. This is a kind of lightweight rayon. And you can see that's got a really nice drape to it. And it's a nice stripe. This is a heavier, oh gosh, I can't remember.
I would think this would be a rayon.
Yeah.
And it's been lengthened 1 inch from the original. But you can lengthen it down and make a little more of a tunic for it.
Yeah, I've actually shortened mine because I'm short-waisted.
Of course you would.
It's easy
of course.
to go up and down.
But my very favorite is the dress.
Oh, the dress. Okay.
Yes.
So we've also made a Hugo dress.
This to me is one of the most beautiful ways to use a panel or a silk
fabric. So it's got a beautiful drape, and the best thing about it is all you have to do is lengthen from the bottom.
From the bottom.
All of the work in the Hugo is in this hidden placket. Once you get that done, you can do whatever. Here, I'll take that. You can do whatever you want to it. Now, how much was this lengthened? Do you know?
The length is it's 38 inches, so it was lengthened 13 inches from the pattern, and it's a small.
Mm-hmm. And you just do the bottom. You don't bother with any length and shorten lines.
No, I wouldn't. No,
No.
I don't think it needs to be, the bottom needs to be swung out or anything. It's just really a gorgeous piece that you really showcases silk, and even a very large pattern would be pretty on that too.
Yeah, but I think you're right. I think you want silk or you want rayon. You want something with the drape for the dress.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the sleeves have this nice little detail. It's kind of a band. It's a sleeve band as opposed to proper sleeve. Now we're going to get the question, can you lengthen the sleeve?
You can lengthen that sleeve, but maybe just like 1 inch. It cannot go 6 inches or so. To me, if you want to have a longer sleeve, to me, you need to just change the whole armhole. And you can do that. I mean, I have on the Mix-It top, which does have a armhole. To me, you can kind of superimpose that on here and get this sleeve
a little bit longer.
A little bit longer, yes.
Now, I'm wearing the cottage shirt in dress form, but it's a similar sleeve.
Yes.
And you can see that even though it's just the band, like the Hugo, it goes down quite a bit on my shoulder. It is not just the band that starts here. It goes down to almost my elbow. So I think it looks shorter than it is when you actually put it on.
Right. Lengthening at even 1 inch covers a lot more of your arm than you think it does.
Yeah. So I don't think you need to worry about like doing fully long sleeves. It's pretty long as it is.
Uh-huh. Although we do all want longer sleeves. This was really great. This is a rather seersucker-like cotton fabric that was really a treat to sew with. It just behaved beautifully.
It's 100% cotton. When you look on the wall, you might notice that it's a little bit sheer, but we don't think that it's going to be sheer when you put it on.
No.
We decided you can't wear a black bra with it, but other than that, you should be good to go. But if you are worried about it, you could wear a camisole, but I don't think you're going to need to.
So what technique on this would make you
I think the technique that people question the most is the turning of the tube for the loop.
The little loop. People like, oh, I don't want to put that loop on there. But it is I think you almost need it for that.
Yeah.
So anyway, but we do have a tool, our bodkin. I'm sure a lot of you may already be using this for turning a loop. And I made a little series of when I make the loop, and you'll have a pattern piece for the loop. I always cut it a little bit longer than the pattern piece and maybe a little bit wider. And then I'll take it to the iron. I'll do a gentle stretch on it to steam out some of the stretch on it. And then I'll fold it. When you're making this loop, the most important part is when you start, you want to leave a funnel. Start with a funnel and then sew down close to the folded edge and end with a funnel.
So by funnel, you mean you're leaving this corner open, right?
Yeah. Well, you're starting on the outside here and then coming in towards the fold.
So it's a curved line that you're sewing, not a straight line.
Right. I mean, a lot of people think that if you just do your right sides together and sew down all the way like 1/4 of an inch, you think you're making it, but you cannot turn it without this big funnel here. And then after that, trim close to your stitching. Then take the bodkin, and up at the top, there's kind of a big square eye. And so I just hand stitch, or I've learned to do it with just a zigzag stitch on my machine, of where I can just carefully zigzag over that. And your bodkin is inside. Okay, now let's see if I can do it on screen.
It's the test.
There we go. And that just easily turns.
I'm going to lift it up just a little bit. There you go.
And I'm going to have a success here. It's like the hat trick.
You have to do it carefully. You can't just fling it, right?
Let's see if my rabbit will come out.
There it is.
And probably if I were doing a silk garment, maybe that tube would have been a little narrower. But then I'll take it to the iron and give it a press. And then I'll probably just use the inside part that's the narrowest. So we've done it in like just a few minutes.
Right. Those are finished.
So here we are, finished again. This is a great technique if you, especially for silk loops. And if you don't have the bodkin at home, first of all, you should order it. But in the Hudson instructions, you can also do it with kind of a thicker cord thread that you put a loop on it, and it will show you the same technique if you don't have the bodkin handy.
Perfect. So you don't have to have it, but it is awfully useful.
Yes.
So when Kathy made this beautiful sunflower yellow Hugo top. She did it using some new Japanese cottons that we will talk about in a minute. But we thought it was so nice and bright, but it needed something. So we wanted to put it with some pants. Of course, you can't have a top without a bottom. And we have these beautiful Valencia pants. You've probably seen them before. We've had them for a little bit. And they're made out of a light cotton canvas. So they do have a little bit of weight to them, but not too heavy. They're not too heavy. Now, I don't know that I'd use this canvas for like a West End pant or something that needs a drape, but we do like it with this. But look at how lovely just a simple top and these floral pants look together.
I think the whole wall looks beautiful
It is.
today.
It's so cheerful.
It's so fresh, yes.
It is so cheerful. I have a couple other examples I wanted to show you. And that was just in the same vein. You could do a darker top with a lighter floral pant. And then we also have, if you do want to mix your prints, you could do something like that. This is a shirting fabric, so it's woven, it's not printed. And I think that works really well for the Hugo as well. It's a crisper look. And even though this is 100% cotton, and so is the yellow, you can see that the yellow, it's not drapey so much, but it does have a little bit more, it's just not as stiff as, say, like a shirting cotton.
Yeah, even if it is boxy, I think the fact that it's not drapey still works well.
Yeah. So while we were thinking floral pants, Deb was home, unbeknownst to the rest of us, making her own pair of floral pants. And when she came in, I said, well, Deb, you have to come on the live stream. So she's going to come on now, and we're going to talk about her pants. Yay. So go to the back. I might have to kind of fiddle with the screen a little bit so people can see. There we go. Now, what I want to point out, it's hard to see because she's done them so well on this thing, but she's added this cargo pocket. Which pants are these?
These are Hudson.
So the Hudson pants. And with a little button on top.
And then also
on
back
the back.
Pockets.
So how many pockets did you add? 4?
I added 4. These are the side seam pockets that come with the pattern.
Perfect.
So.
All right. So hopefully you guys can see that all right. I'm going to put us back up a little bit.
I'm blending into the floral.
You are blending in the floral. Actually, you're blending in the yellow and the floral. You're camo today.
I am.
So tell me about how you added the pockets.
Well, so this was an inspiration from Dolce & Gabbana ad that I saw for men's cargo pants. It was all hand embroidered, which, that's not going to happen. So anyway, this fabric has a faux embroidery on it. And I was like, well, there you go.
Done.
So I played around with pockets and measurements. And so this is what I came up with. So the back pocket ended up being 9 inches by 7 inches, which actually looks kind of big, and then the flap is 6 by 7.5. So the flap is actually a 1/2 inch wider than what the other pocket was.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time you get done, it's maybe 1/8 of an inch bigger on each side. So the overlap is good. So then I just took a pair of pants that I had with back pockets and measured where it was. And so I measured down 3 inches from the waist. The biggest problem with these pants is when I got to go put the waistband in, I did not have 1 inch elastic. So I took a page from Samantha and I used 1.5 inch wide elastic.
Oh.
So, but that just made the waistband a little bit different. So the back pockets are a little bit higher than what I wanted, but they're still functional.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as the placement on here, I just kind of put my hands down on the pants that I had, and then I made a mark where my thumb was. There was no exact science to it.
Yeah. You're just making it work.
I was just making it work. So.
And so this is a cotton sateen a little bit. It's got a little bit of a satin finish to it.
And it's a little bit heavier. It's not shirt weight. It's definitely a pant weight.
Mm-hmm. And so then your inseam pockets, that's the inseam tutorial?
This is the inseam tutorial,
okay.
the pocket template that you get with the Hudson and Picasso.
Mm-hmm.
So
I If you don't have the pocket template, just email me and I can set you up with it. If you want to add pockets to pretty much any pant, the inseam tutorial will help you do so. Well, that's great. Let me see if we have any questions for you before you skedaddle. Just open this up. They love your cargo pockets and your hair and your glasses.
Oh, thank you.
You are. Let's see. Right. I don't see any questions for you, just compliments. So I guess you're good to go. Thank you so much for sharing.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. So the Valencia pants, which is this pair of pants right here. This is a one seam pant. So there is only a seam on the inside of the leg. On the outside, it's all one piece. Now, Kathy, I'm going to bring you back on here. Sorry, you thought you were done. Do you have any fitting tips for the Valencia pants? Just offhand?
No, really, no. I mean, I don't have anything that's unusual that.
Yeah. I think people worry because of the one seam that it's not as easy to fit as like if you have an outer seam, but it really doesn't change a lot of just different fitting techniques. And in fact, it's really flattering because it just kind of smooths on the outside.
Right. If you need to add anything to hips, to the rear end, I mean, you just split down the side of the leg and spread it.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, in a way, it can be a little bit easier to adjust.
Okay. So we thought this looked really nice with the sunflower yellow, but we actually pulled quite a few canvas prints that are the same weight as this pant to show you today. Here, I guess I could take that. So we'll start over here. This is actually the fabric that Deb used. It is a cotton fabric. I don't think it has any stretch in it. Will you check for me on the tag?
Well, it does have a little
stretch.
It's not listed on the tag, but I mean, there's a tiny bit of stretch.
There's a tiny bit of stretch. It's more of a comfort stretch than like a stretch.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So this is 100% cotton. The floral, and we can bring it maybe closer if you need to, it looks like it's embroidered. It looks like it is all machine embroidered flowers, but you don't have to do it yourself. So that's really nice.
Yes.
This is the fabric that Kathy used for the Hugo. It's 100% cotton. It's a plissé, which is kind of like a seersucker. It just kind of pulls those threads to make the texture. This is our floral canvas that we used for the Valencia pants. Again, it is a canvas, and I feel like people might be concerned about using a heavier weight, but it's lighter than denim, and I think it really works. It's kind of almost just like a heavy linen.
I don't know. I would wash it first. I think you would get a little bit of softness, and it would be perfect for the Hudson. It'd be perfect for maybe the Saltwell.
Oh, that's a good idea.
What else do we have?
I think the only thing I'd probably shy away from is the West End, just because I like a drape for that.
Yes, right. Yes.
But anything else, really, it's quite good. We also have this gorgeous magenta plissé, and it's the same fabric as the sunflower yellow, but look at how beautifully it picks up this purple.
That's great.
I don't know if you can see. And then on the bottom here, and this is a fabric we have had before. We've actually made a Brando jacket out of it. And it's a glorious springy print. It's got a cream background, and it's got birds and butterflies, and then also this really interesting sketchy paisley and floral. So that's
I don't have a tag on this. Is this cotton?
Yep. All the kind of lightweight canvases are 100% cotton. It's nice, isn't it? So over here, we have a couple other things. We have this beautiful, I don't know if you can see it. We might have to bring some fabric closer. This is a textured cotton, and it's got a polka dot in it. We do call it black. It is it's kind of a toss-up between black and navy. It's so dark that I think it's black, but it also has a real blue tone, so it does have a navy look about it.
And it has a little bit of a puckered circle to it.
Mhm.
You know, we found this, but one of the unusual things is that there was an ad by Izzy Miyake, and he had an entire outfit, a top and a skirt, and it was in a fabric identical to this visually. I don't know what his fabric was, but
Yeah.
it was so, it's sometimes it's really fun to see those ads in magazines, and you think, oh, that's the same thing on the wall.
I could make that. We think it looks really nice with this canvas print, which has a beautiful dark indigo background and then shades of blue and white roses. Down here, we've got more of a royal blue of that cotton plissé. And then here are two more of the textured polka dots. This is a putty kind of taupey color. And then this is blue, not quite navy. What do you think?
I think this is a great fabric for Hudson top.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not real drapey, so you do want to find a top that's cool and not really fitted.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's very unusual.
Yeah, the polka dots are quite big. What are they? Maybe 2.5 inches. So you don't see something with like that kind of large scale, I think, into it. And it's nice because you get interest without print.
Yes.
So you don't have like a huge print on top, but you do have some visual interest. And then the last fabric we have is another canvas. It's got a really nice kind of light cream taupey background, and then this cool gray and blue and indigo leafy design. And I think this would be great for pants. And it's perfectly coordinated with this blue and putty cotton.
That's gorgeous.
Isn't it pretty?
I mean, with this would go, this would go, this would go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just kind of worked out that everybody really worked
And
well together.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Let me check and make sure I'm not missing any questions. Let's see. Are the Plaza pants similar to the Valencia?
Yes.
Yes and no. Go ahead.
Well, it's basically the same, what do I want to say, grade. The Valencia may be just a tiny bit roomier, but more or less it's the same pant without the
Plaza has the
pleat in the front. Yes.
Let's see. Sorry, when I look at questions, you have to see my big face. Is your top one fabric or many put together?
This is one fabric. We talked about panel fabrics of making tops. This was all one piece of fabric that we had maybe 2-3 years ago.
Mm-hmm. That was a fabric that we all wanted to get, and then it went away so quickly.
Yeah, well, I took care of that
Yeah,
first.
You grabbed yours. Uh-huh. Sometimes you can't wait. So someone asked what the opening measured at the bottom of the Valencia pants. So I'll hold and you measure.
10.5.
So 21 circumference. And that is for a size that we don't know. I'm going to say, what do you think, medium large? Alex, if you know, pop that in there.
Yeah, I think that's a medium.
Okay, perfect. Let's see. People like the cargo pockets. People liked your funnel trick, so thank you for sharing that. Okay, we have someone who has struggled with the placket on the Hugo top. So let me get the shirt and maybe you can give her some tips.
Can you get the instructions
I sure
out of
can.
the? I think maybe what stops people a lot is when you get to the point where you have to sew this bottom part together. And she can correct me if I'm wrong. It's this part right here that I think people have a little bit of a problem with. When you're stitching that together, make sure it's only the facings that come together. You're not stitching into the garment, just and there will be about 3 layers there, but you only stitch 2 layers, which is the facing together. I know there's a lot pictured behind here. So she might tell me if that seems to be the place that she's caught up on.
Yeah, let us know, Corrine. I will say on sale this week, we have a So Confident PDF tutorial that takes you through the placket construction with photos and step-by-step. It shows you how to do the buttonholes.
That is perfect.
Yeah, so if you do have trouble and maybe you need like a little extra help, look at that tutorial. It includes quite a few things, matching stripes and then some things on other patterns as well. But I know sometimes illustrations, some people need like photos, and that really does take you through every step. So you should look at that. That is on sale this week.
Yeah, I haven't made this for a long time. So when I did make it, I did have to stop at this point and reread the directions and make sure it was just the 2 layers and not any other part of the facing. And that worked out fine. So, but
Perfect.
The PDF would be great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, it can be a tricky part. It's funny because the rest of the shirt is so easy, but that placket's really the...
Yes, if that's what she's having trouble with, I think it would be. So, and then also some people might not realize there's a little bit of an offset to the inside placket is set in almost about 3/8 of an inch.
Let's look back at some questions. We appreciate your bodkin. Kathy, do you want to remind everybody what your top is?
It's the Mix-It top. It has a little bit of a stand-up collar. It has a placket here, bound placket. Although the pattern would have maybe a little facing to it, I like to do just a little binding on it. The facing's fine, but I like the binding also. I've got the loop, and then there are darts in this one. So people who need to adjust darts, this is a good boxy fit also.
We had a question about inventor kits and if we were going to be adding any extra colors in. We don't have any plans to add extra colorways of the inventor kit, but we are more than happy to help you pick out some fabric. So if you want to reach out, we can give you some recommendations that aren't pre-kitted. So just let me know. Oh, that is where she had the issue with the placket. So we covered
did that help?
She said that was exactly the place. So
yes,
thank you for that. On the Valencia pants, show us the adjustments for height and length to lengthen the pants. So, I mean, I guess it depends on how much you need to lengthen them. If you're just lengthening a little bit, I would just do it at the bottom. Don't you think?
You can if it's not more than an inch or something. If it is more, then you're going to
Do
have to
the-
do it on the.
Yeah. I can't remember. I'd have to check to see if they're lengthened and shortened lines
Yeah,
on
me
the pattern.
too.
But yes, if you need to do more than an inch, you want to kind of do mid-length and then add it in the middle.
Mhm.
But they're an easy pant to lengthen because they're just straight
Right.
straight up. Let's see.
There was a question early on about the Hugo neckline. It's very tight. So how can you adjust the Hugo so that it's more comfortable?
Oh.
The neckline.
Mhm.
What part of it did she want to?
So she said it's tight. So
Oh.
how would you adjust it? Could you scoop out the front of
Yes.
the neckline?
Yes, you can scoop out. Make sure you're also doing that on your facing. There's a back facing, and then there's a right and left front facing. So yes, I mean, if you want it down, just scoop out 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch all the way around.
Easy as that.
Well, I hope so.
That's what I would do. I would just scoop it out.
Yeah, and I don't feel, as long as they're adjusting the facing, there shouldn't be any.
That's the trick with it. You can't just do the bodice. You have to do the facings
Right.
and everything else. So you just got to make a note of your measurement and make sure you take it through everything.
Right, or cut the neckline that is a size bigger than your garment.
Yeah, that's an easy way to go about it.
Betsy, can you talk about your cottage dress?
I sure can. So it's a dress. I'll go all the way to the back. Oh, you can just see it. It's right above the knee. And basically, I just lengthened it from the bottom. I didn't do mid-size or anything. The only change I made was that when I got done, I didn't feel like putting in buttons. And so even though I made it with the plackets like you would for buttons, I just overlapped the placket as if it were buttoned, and I stitched down each edge to make it a pullover. Because I was like, oh, so many buttons. It's just-
Buttonholes,
it was just
loops, there's things that we.
Yeah, I was like, I don't have time for that right now. So I just did it together and stitched it down the front, and actually it worked really well.
I think it looks great.
Yeah, and then I added little ties at the waist just to give it a little shape. They're a little low. I would do them up higher
And
next time.
did you deepen your vent?
I didn't. I just used the vent that was on the bottom.
That is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it was a super simple variation in that it was lengthened, and I nixed the buttons. So it didn't take very long. This is one I've had for a while, and I pulled it out. I haven't worn it for a long time.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, super cute. And this is just a rayon, but it works beautifully for summer. Let's see.
And can you show us what fabrics on the wall would be really good for pants?
For pants? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So our pants suggestions are these cotton canvas and then just this cotton stretch. So we've got the florals. All of the florals are good for pants. These plissés and the textured dots, they're very lightweight. I would not use them for pants. These are a shirt fabric. Don't you agree? Yeah. So any of these little florals are great for pants. They'd be great for jackets. They would be lovely for skirts, but you don't want to use the solids for.
Actually, this would not be devastating for a West End pant.
You think it's thick enough? All right.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
In the darker color.
Yeah,
I'm
in
not
the
sure if
darker
I'd made
colors.
it in the lighter color. I mean, it would be rather unusual. It'd be an airy pant, but I think you could get by with it.
Mm-hmm. You'd have to check. The dots are a little sheer, so you just want to make sure all your worldly goods are covered properly.
Could we see that closer, Betsy?
The dot, sure.
You could probably underline the pants, yes?
You could underline the pant, but you can see that it's pretty airy. So that's why I think maybe for pants you want to likely underline it, I think.
I don't know. I would be reckless enough to do it.
Sassy. Sassy Kathy. Are there any other prints that we need to show up close? Let us know. I do want to show this one. Can you grab that? Okay. Let's show all the ones from the top. So this is the one that Deb used on her pants, and it has this faux needlepoint floral that I hope you can see. Can you see that? Okay. Just wanted to make sure you got that detail. How much longer did I make my cottage shirt to a dress length? Oh gosh.
Well, we could measure
let's
how long
measure.
it is now. And what size is it?
This is an extra small, but I made it a very long time ago, so.
It's 34-inch finished, 34 finished. So you do have that big 6-inch hem, but the finished length is 34.
Yeah. So I just measured how long I wanted it to, where I wanted it to finish. And then again, because I just added it, I mean, you add it to the bottom, but you do have to keep the vent in mind.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
But I would have to compare it to the actual pattern because it's been a while. But really, my measurements aren't going to be the same as yours. So you want to just measure where you want it to end and then add that in.
And that would probably be a tunic for us.
Yes.
Not a dress.
What is a dress for you is ankle length for me. Let's see. Oh, so there's a suggestion that you could underline this like it's short length and then leave the rest open.
Oh, that'd be kind of
That
cute.
would be really a good idea.
Uh-huh.
We also, there's a blog post, and it is about the Valencia pants, which we've been talking about. And in that, Linda shows you how to underline, in that case, linen with a mesh fabric.
That one pant has one, the pink.
Oh, that's right here. Yeah.
Yes.
So that is a really nice light fabric to use for underlining, and we do have 2 colors right now on the website. So you can see she underlined this light pink linen with this kind of pinky ballet pink mesh just to give it a little extra coverage. And that is on the blog, all of the steps on how to do that. We have not washed the plissé. You did not wash before.
No.
No. So
I think, but honestly, I really feel, I mean, of course, as we always say, do your sample, but I really feel that it would be a washable fabric. I just didn't wash it beforehand.
do you think the texture will change any?
It may pucker a tiny bit more, which actually would be
Not bad.
wonderful. Yeah.
Let's see. I think
Betsy, have you made the Valencias? Someone was asking about any petite changes that you make to your patterns.
I have made the Valencias. I'm thinking back. I don't think I did anything to them except shorten them to where I needed them to be. Because they're like a fairly straight leg pants, they're pretty flattering, and I don't think I had to do any adjustments other than that.
Do you remember what size you made?
I think it
Extra
was-
small or small?
No, I think the Valencia sizing I had to go up.
Oh, you did.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Which was a real ego bummer.
Well, I said earlier the Valencias were a little larger than the Plaza. So,
yeah,
but now that you said you went up, it's interesting.
yeah,
To know that.
which is why you should always check the sizing on everything, just in case. It would have been a real sad day if I had made them. Oh, someone has washed the plissé and it came out beautifully.
Yeah, I think it would. Well, good to know. Thank you.
Yeah. So we do have some other fabrics that we haven't shown yet, but I did kind of just throw them on sale as an extra bonus because I think they'd be really nice for that Hugo dress that we talked about. So these are border prints And I think you could do something really fun with the dress using a border print. This is a rayon. Here, let's hold it up.
Oh, we can't see
This
the
way.
bottom.
Yeah, you can't see. And it's this incredible blue with this brown and then stripy border print.
That would be so beautiful for
Wouldn't
the
it?
dress.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just thought that would be really fun. You could also use it for a Hugo, but we just kind of had this dress in mind. We've got this beautiful border print. And this is kind of a navy. It's got taupe accents in it. And then you've got this beautiful like multi-stripe down there. So you can put the border along the bottom. You could do it along one side. There are a lot of options for it. This is also a rayon.
Yeah.
It almost has like a heathered background to it.
Yeah, this would be great for the dress.
Yeah.
Just for the top and the dress.
Mm-hmm. This is not a border print, but I loved it, so I just threw it in the sale for you guys.
It's your pretty silk
It is a
pink.
silk. It's 100% silk. It's from Valentino. It's got a lovely floral. I just thought if you're looking for a fun, lightweight summer dress, this would be beautiful. One's going down. This is not a border print either, but I was inspired by this other Hugo top that we have. Let me just pop that in the front, which is made out of lemon material.
This is a little bit sheer. I think if I'm making this, I would stay with the top
Instead of the dress?
and not the dress.
Okay.
Unless you want to find your slip in the.
Pull out the slip, ladies.
I'm not sure I can find one anymore in my drawer. I haven't worn a slip for so long. And
then finally, we have just a little bit of
this
the
is
slip.
enough for one garment, but honestly, this is my favorite.
Is it stuck? Oh, is it even on here?
What happened to it?
There we go. So this is a silk. It's a lightweight silk.
This is a border print.
It is a border print. And you've got a geometric design. Oh, sorry. And then also this is a geometric design, but it really looks like flowers. It's almost like pixelated flowers.
Now the border on this runs the length of the selvage.
Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah, so if you're using that on the bottom, you would have to turn it and cut your pattern crossways.
Yeah.
I love this one.
Yeah, we just thought if you guys were feeling like a dress, you might want some different options for that. So we kind of last minute added those into the sale. How many yards to make for the dress? It kind of depends how long you're going to lengthen it for your body.
Well, let me see. The normal, if you're doing a small, the pattern, the top is 25 inches long. If you're doing the dress, we showed that was 38 inches long. So I think maybe almost 2 yards more than the top.
Okay.
Or at least 1.5 yards.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than not having enough fabric.
Especially if you can't get any more. All right. Oh, Peggy Anderson's mom told her slips should always be worn under skirts or dresses. I tell you what, I've had to go buy a slip recently. They're not easy to come by.
What did Linda say? That silk is her favorite in the shop.
Mm-hmm. I
Which-
think that pixelated. So.
The last one?
Uh-huh.
This is my favorite. Yes.
Yeah.
Very small amount left, so
Get on there, yeah.
beware.
Does it make any difference to the drape of the dress if you cut a border print not with the grain?
Well, not for the silk. I think on a silk you can get by. Well, actually, for any of them, as long as you have drape as long as there's not a great amount of stretch going one way or the other.
Yeah.
No, you can turn it. In fact, this may be turned crosswise.
Yeah, I've turned patterns crosswise, like if I just don't have enough fabric and I can't get more. And I haven't really noticed a big
No.
difference. As long as I always just try to keep all of the pattern pieces on the same grain, so you're not going back and forth.
Yes.
But I've never really had a problem where it's been.
Yes, any of those we did show, I think you can turn. As long as you have the woven silk, they'll turn both ways. So.
Well, I think that looks like all of the questions answered for today. So I think we're gonna end our little program today. It is 80 degrees in this apartment, you guys. It is so hot. Well, if you're gonna use the navy and black border print for the Hugo dress, how much fabric would she need? As Kathy said, you probably want to buy an extra yard or 2
So which one
yards.
is she talking about?
That guy.
Navy and black?
Mm-hmm.
This one?
I think so.
For the dress. This is 57 wide, so and cutting it across, I think you can do 1 yard more, and maybe technically you don't really need any more because you're cutting it across, but I would get one yard more so you don't have to come up with some crazy creative way to finish it out. So
No
yes.
fancy footwork.
Right.
Well, thanks for joining me today, Kathy, and sharing your bodkin tutorial. Now we know how to use it. It's not just a mysterious metal piece on a Notion shelf.
No, we all hate to do those loops, but it's like an invisible zipper. After you get used to doing it, you can do it in 5 minutes. So
Exactly. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream, and we'll see you next week.
thank you.